Hi everyone, welcome to today's project. I have an amazing little gift box to share with you, and you will not believe how easy this is to make. So we are actually using these little book treat boxes. They are on page 27 of our new holiday mini catalog. And I know they're a little bit difficult to see there. There is a sample of one of them here. This is like the inside of it. And then there's another one here, so the outside. But they are so adorable. I'm going to show you how easy they are to put together. They are really, really fun. And I turned my white boxes into this beautiful kind of watercolor washed box, and I'm going to show you what's inside this in just a second. But this is how your boxes come. You get 10 boxes per package, and you have a this is the box part, and then you have the outside part, which is this part. And so you'll need both pieces to create your whole box part, to create your entire box. So you'll need both of these. So let's jump in and let me show you what's in the box before we get started. Now, I actually put a little Velcro closure on mine. So I have a little Velcro here and a little Velcro here. So you don't have to do this, and I'm going to show you why you don't have to do this, but I wanted this box to be able to be opened and reopened and open and reopened, so I went with the Velcro closure. So you open this up, and I added inside my box, I added a little gift card pocket, so you can put a little gift card in here. And then the gift card pocket lifts up and you can fill the bottom of the box full of candy. This is about an inch high, and it's about, as you can see, about as big as a gift card. So you're going to be able to fit quite a few treats in there. I am waiting to get some Christmas treats in the stores before I start filling up my box, but I'm going to show you how to make this cute little gift card addition if you wanted to do that. And then under the gift card would be a ton of little treat box, or a ton of little candies, which would be super fun. So I'm going to go ahead and close this up. We're going to make this, and we're going to start with the outside. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, we're doing quite a bit of ink blending for our box. We're doing both the outside of the box and the inside piece of the box. So we're doing a lot of ink blending. So I've actually already done the bottom part of the box. So I'm going to show you how to do the top part, and it's going to be the exact same way that I did the bottom part. So I'm just kind of cutting this part out, but you're going to repeat the process for both of these. Okay, so you're going to need both pieces. Like I said, you're going to need that bottom piece and then this little flat piece for the outside. So my ink blending, I am using Pretty Peacock and Shaded Spruce, and I'm using my glass mat here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually kind of put a little bit of ink onto my glass mat. This is Shaded Spruce, and I'm going to put the Pretty Peacock right under it, just a little bit of that as well. Now, if you're doing a lot of these, you're going to want to add a lot more ink than I'm adding, but I'm trying to be a little bit cautious with how much ink I use because I don't want to have to waste it. All right, I have two blending brushes. One is for my green, one is for my my Pretty Peacock. So I'm just going to start with my Pretty Peacock, and what you're going to do is just pick up a little bit of that ink and then just start ink blending. And you're just going to do this kind of in a, I mean, there's no real pattern to do this. Just kind of keep going over. I'm going to turn it around and do the other side. I didn't really tap off, so I got that really harsh line there, but that's okay because it's all going to blend together. And I'm just going to keep adding ink. I kind of like it darker around the edges, so I'm going to keep doing that. And there's really no kind of rhyme or reason to how you want to do this. Just kind of keep adding ink. So I think that looks good for now with the Pretty Peacock. And I'm going to come in with my Garden Green. Not my Garden Green. This is Shaded Spruce. Hello. I've been using Garden Green a lot, so that's on my mind. But we're just going to go in, and I'm just going in a circular motion. And the more ink you add, the more those little kind of blotchy spots will kind of disappear. And I'm going over that Pretty Peacock area. If you hear lots of crashing and thrashing, it's because my dog heard me talking, and now he is dragging his bed into right under my chair. So literally I cannot move. So our poor little dog. All right, so just finishing up the side here. Now, I don't want it to look perfect. I don't want it to look perfectly blended. I want it to really have some of those lines, those watercolor marks. I think that's gonna really help with the look of this. A little bit over that pretty peacock area. And I'm gonna go back in with my pretty peacock and pick up more of this ink. Just make this a little bit darker. All right, I think that looks great. So that's gonna be the outside. So you can see it doesn't look kind of uniform. There's some splotchiness, and that's really what we want. We're gonna add even more details to this in a minute. But I'm gonna move my blending brushes out of the way. With your Glass Mat Studio, you're going to receive a little chamois, and that will clean up all of your ink. So let me just get all of that ink picked up just so we don't get that all over our project. Clean that up really quick and easily. You can see how beautifully that cleans up. You just want to wet this with water. This is just like the Stampin' chamois that I use to clean my stamps. You just want to wet this with water, rinse it out, and I like to add this along with the one I clean my stamps with to my laundry. Once a week I do it with my sheets and towels, and that helps wash them. Don't put them in the dryer, but you can put them in the washer, so that's a good tip. All right, let's bring back all our pieces that we have done. Let's see, how am I going to fit these both on screen? All right, now I am going to use, I have our Stampin' Spritzer here, and I'm actually going to unscrew it because I want some of the bigger drops, and we're going to add droplets of water to this, and then we're going to kind of pick some of it up with our with a dry paper towel, and that's going to help add some little splatter to this, and it's going to just add more texture and dimension. I'm not worrying too much about this part because this part's going to be glued down to the inside of the box, so don't worry too much about that bottom of the box. But I'm just adding, I'm dropping in water, as you can see, and I don't know if you can see, you can kind of see those droplets kind of working. Let me see if I can zoom in. You can see those droplets kind of working around. So fun. And so all I'm going to do is I have some dry paper towels here, and I'm just going to kind of soak it up like that, and you can see that fun, amazing texture that you're going to get on these boxes. Now you can do this with cardstock as well. You can do this with anything that you do the ink blending on, and you're going to get that beautiful background. So isn't that fun? It's like watercolored and spotted. It looks really, really fun. So I'm just going to soak up any extra water that may have made it onto my glass mat. Looks good. And so we're going to move on. And hopefully my little inky fingers will not transfer over. So let's go back to our little box while this all just kind of sets up and dries. So I'm just going to set these aside. We'll come back and assemble this all later. So, but let's go ahead and do all the stamping, and we'll get back to the box in a minute. So I have a couple pieces of cardstock here that we're going to do some stamping on. So I have a 2-inch circle that I have just punched with my 2-inch circle punch. I have a tag that I have die cut from the Greetings of the Seasons dies. And we're actually using that whole bundle, Greetings of the Season. So you can grab this in a bundle. This was an online exclusive that was launched, I believe, in July. But you can grab this in my online store, and we're going to use this little tag from there. And the greeting is also from there. Now I have one more stamp set that I'm using. I'm using this Snowy Wonder, and I'm just pulling in some of these little snowflake stamps because I wanted that. Just a few snowflakes. So let's go ahead and start with our greeting. We're going to heat emboss this Mary so we get that nice bright white. So let's start with that one because that one's the messiest. You're going to need a couple of things to heat emboss with. You're going to need embossing powder. This is my white embossing powder. I like to keep mine in little containers. Because I have such a teeny tiny piece of cardstock here, I'm going to grab my reverse tweezers. These actually come in the embossing toolkit. And along in the embossing toolkit, you're going to get this embossing buddy. This is just a little powder bag that's filled with like a cornstarch, and it's going to prevent that embossing powder from sticking where we don't want it to stick. So just kind of swiped that across my cardstock, and I'm going to use Versamark ink. That's our nice sticky embossing ink, and I have the greeting that says Mary. Now we're going to cut this out to the height of the words, so I'm not super worried about getting it straight, although this is a pretty small piece of cardstock, so I'm gonna try to get it as straight as I can. Lovely. I don't think, maybe you can see it. You can see it there. So once we have that done, I'm gonna close my ink pad and put that away. And I'm gonna open up my embossing powder, and I'm just gonna sprinkle some embossing powder onto the greeting, tap off any extra. And also in the embossing toolkit, there's a little brush, a little paintbrush, and if you get embossing powder where you don't want it, you can just use that brush and brush it away. But this looks good. So I'm gonna close up my embossing powder before we bring in our heat tool. I'm gonna put that all the way across the desk. And I'm gonna bring in the heat tool. Now this is gonna get loud for just a minute. And I actually like to heat my heat tool up off to the side for about 15 to 20 seconds, just to get it nice and hot before I bring it to my project. This is a small little piece that we're embossing, and it's gonna go really fast once it's hot. And I like to just make sure that it stays hot off to the side so that it doesn't warp my paper. So I'm gonna use my tweezers to hold this so I don't burn my fingers. And once it's nice and hot, I'm gonna bring it over and just kind of hover it over, and hopefully you'll be able to see that, hopefully the camera will focus, hopefully you'll be able to see that powder go to a glossy finish. And once it's all glossy, that is how you know it's done. You want to just let this dry for just a second. Let it cool down, really, not really dry, but there you have that beautiful little embossed piece. It's raised, it's glossy, it's embossed, it's so fun. All right, I'm gonna bring in my little tiny trimmer here, and we're just going to trim this up to the height of the words, and we're gonna kind of flag the ends in just a minute. So we have that ready to go. Let's do the rest of our stamping. And let me zoom in just a touch. All right, so on my little tag piece here, I have Pretty Peacock ink, and we are going to stamp Christmas on here in Pretty Peacock ink. I'm gonna put this kind of just below center, just so that we have plenty of room for our Mary. Lovely. And that's it with, nope, that's not it with the Pretty Peacock. Let's bring in our circle. I am actually gonna bring in a piece of scratch paper. Give me one sec. Just gonna find a piece of scratch paper. I'm gonna bring in a piece of scratch paper and that snowflake from that Snowy Wonder stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp this all over this snowflake, or this 2-inch circle. And this is just going to give us a tiny bit of detail in the back. And really you don't have to do the middle because the middle is going to be completely covered, but this is a small little circle. So we'll just, I want to make sure that I get all those edges. All right, so that's beautiful. And that is it for our Pretty Peacock ink. I have one more ink to pull in, and that is Basic Beige. And we're gonna use a smaller snowflake from that same Snowy Wonder set. And I'm just gonna go just around. I'm not covering this one as much. I want the snowflakes to be a little bit more kind of sporadic on this one, but I am just adding just a few little snowflakes to our tag. All right, and that completes our stamping. So move all these stamps out of the way. Let's go ahead and flag our little banner here. So I like to just cut up the middle and then just go from side to side and just give that a nice little flag, just like that. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this side. Cut up the middle and just go from side to side. Now, if you have a little punch that will give you that same banner edge, then go ahead and do that. I'm gonna get rid of my trash. And I have a couple other pieces of DSP that's gonna go on the front. These are each, I didn't write down the measurements of these. These are, this one's 4 by 1 3/4, and this one's 4 by 1/2. So this is gonna make up our little box. So I'm gonna set these aside. Those are ready to go. Now for the inside piece for our little gift card piece, I have a piece of Pretty Peacock, and it is, let's see, it's 5 1/2, so 5 1/2 this way by 4 3/4. On the 4 3/4 inch side, I have already scored it at 1 inch on each side. So 1 inch there and 1 inch there. And then on the 5 1/2 inch side, I've scored it at 2 inches. So give all of those a really good varnish. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna come in and just where the score line is, I'm just gonna cut a V out. So I'm just cutting on either side of that score line. And we're just kind of removing the score line, but we're removing it with a little V notch. And I found that this just helped our little pocket fold up nicely, a little bit better than it normally would. So that's all the trimming on that. You're gonna just fold up the pocket, and then these sides are gonna fold over just like that. And I'm gonna give this a really good burnish just to make sure everything wants to fold over the same way. And that gives us a nice little pocket, and we don't have to use any adhesive on the sides or anything here. Now I am gonna use a little bit of adhesive just to hold this pocket together. So I'm going to put, whoops, my bone folder fell down. I'm going to put just adhesive on the shorter of the tabs, and then when we fold it over, that'll give us that little pocket. When we fold it back this way, we'll have our little pocket for our gift card or cash or check, whatever you want to stick in there. All right, so we're going to come back to this as well. So I'm going to put this aside, and let's bring over our box. So we have our box here. So let's assemble the bottom of the box first. You're going to need that bone folder again. And the boxes come scored for you, and they also come with adhesive for you. I don't know if you can see that adhesive, but it's there. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go through, and you're going to give everything a really good burnish. All those score lines, give them a really, really good burnish. So Stampin' Up! Always has some really amazing packaging, and I actually love their packaging because it is really sturdy, it's really strong. And I love their packaging. I usually make a lot of boxes, but I really love their packaging. If you're looking for something quick and sturdy, you will definitely want these. All right, now there is adhesive on these two longer ends here. So you see those are gonna fold over. So all you're going to do to assemble this, and if you wanted to put a little bit of extra glue just to hold it, you could, but you don't really need it. But you're just gonna fold in the tabs this way. So I'm gonna work this way. So you fold in the tabs this way, fold this side up, and then the side that has the adhesive just gets folded down into the box, just like that. Super easy. Just fold in those tabs, just like that. Fold this piece over those tabs, and then just fold that down into the box. Now, if you wanted your whole inside of your box to be colored as well, I'm pretty sure I did that with mine. Let's see. Yeah, I did that with mine. You'll just flip the box over and do the same thing on the other side. We didn't do that with this box, but you absolutely could. Close this one up so we know what we're doing. So there's our box. Really quick and easy to put together, right? Very quick. All right, then we have the outside of our box, and this one's even quicker to put together. Just fold this over and fold on all those score lines. Now this box, when you fold it up like this, there's a little glue tab here that when you close it, you're gonna adhere it closed. I didn't want mine adhered closed permanently, so that's why I didn't use that glue tab, but you could if you wanted. So there's glue on the inside of the box, on the back of the box. I peeled off those, and we're going to stick our box down. We're just gonna kind of eyeball it, kind of centered on here. Oop. Looks like I need to go up a little more. Let's see. This adhesive is really strong, so try to get it in the right place the first time. There we go. Let me see if I can center it better, kind of sideways like this. Perfect. I think that's much better. Give that a good press. And so when you close this up, you can peel off this adhesive and adhere it down, and that would be completely adorable. But I didn't want to adhere this permanently because I want my recipient to be able to open and close this and get into it when they need to. So we're gonna kind of work around this little glue tab here, and I'll show you what we're gonna do with that in a second. But let's adhere our pocket. So you want your pocket to go in like this. So we are going to just add adhesive just to this side, just to the left side of our pocket. And if you wanted to stamp something on here, you could. That's completely optional. So this is 1 inch high, so it's going to be the exact height of that pocket. So we're just going to glue it on the inside of there, and then this will fold over just like that. And our box will fold over. So we have a fun little pocket that we'll be able to hide some candy in, we'll be able to put a gift card in. So this is like a double treat. All right, let's work with the outside of our box. So we have our pieces of DSP. This DSP, I didn't even mention what DSP it's from. It is from the Sentimental Christmas, and this one has some gorgeous like vintage patterns. I love those little deers. So really fun vintagey patterns that coordinate so well with that shaded spruce and pretty peacock that we used. You can get that in my online store as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the backs of these pieces. Find that adhesive. This one's fun too, that ribbon. And then these little trees on this side. So cute. All right, so let's start with our trees. Make sure that you're putting it on right side up. And we're just going to put that on maybe like a 1/4 inch from the left side. And then we're going to put on that stripe strip right next to it. Nice and straight, just like that. Lovely. All right, now I am going to peel off the backing of this little, the little flap, but we are not going to adhere it to the front of our box. But I am going to put down our stamped circle, and we are going to adhere it to that. So I'm just trying to line it up, just kind of where it needs to go. And then now that it's adhered to the circle, we'll be able to add that little Velcro dot and everything will fit just fine. So isn't that fun? All right, let's add some dimensionals to the back of this. Oh, before we do that, let's add our ribbon. So also in our mini catalog, we have this beautiful pom-pom ribbon. This is Pool Party. It is so pretty. And so we're just going to stick this through here. It is gonna, all those little pom-poms will kind of just go through. It's fine. And we're just gonna tie a knot. This is kind of a big ribbon. It's pretty thick. So we're not gonna go with a big bow. We're just gonna do a little knot. So do this, just like that. That's all we're going to do. And then I'm gonna cut this at an angle, a little bit of an angle. There we go. Super cute, those pom-poms. And at Pool Party will coordinate so well with pretty peacock, so it works out. All right, let's put some dimensionals on this, and I'm actually going to put them right along the center of this outside tab here so that we know exactly where our adhesive's going. Nothing's hanging over, nothing's gonna glue that box shut. And then we'll just stick our tag on just like that. I want just a little bit of that circle poking up the top and the bottom. And we'll just stick that on just like that. And I'm going to grab just a little edge piece of my dimensionals here for this greeting piece. We'll stick that on the back. And we will stick that right onto our little tag. Merry Christmas. All right, let's get this thing closed up for good. So I have just some little Velcro dots and I've stuck them together. So I have the, the little each end put together. I've put them together like this. And I'm just gonna cut one little dot. You can use magnets as well. I just had a lot of these little Velcro dots. I found some in my room. So I thought, well, you know what? We're gonna start using those. So let's peel off the backing. So I like to put on the one specific ones that I have, the specific brand I have, I like to put the white fluffy part on the side with the tag. That way the clear part is on the DSP side and it doesn't show as much. So we're gonna peel off the side of the white kind of fluffy part, as I'm calling it. I'm sure there's specific names with Velcro, and I'm just sticking it kind of right to the edge of that tag. And we'll just peel off that one so it's sticky. And we'll go ahead and close this. Make sure everything's lined up, give that a little press. And then the very first time you peel it away, do it very gently. And go ahead and just give this a really good burnish with your fingers, as well as this one too. Give that a really good burnish. And then it'll stick nice and well, just like Velcro. Beautiful, perfect, right? All right, so we have our little gift card in here. So I'll grab another gift card to stick in there. We have our little box. One more finishing touch. We are gonna add some embellishments. These are our blooming pearls. These are in our annual catalog, but I love this pretty peacock color. The gold would be great too, and even this green would coordinate really well too. So take your pick tool. You'll need that, and I'm gonna add just a few of these, just 3. So a big one, a little one, and then another big one right up here. And that completes our sweet little gift card holder made with that, I don't remember what these are called, the book tab boxes. I don't know what they're called. Let's see what they're called. The book treat boxes. So we have our little hidden gift card in here, and then we have plenty of room for treats on the inside. So I hope you like this fun little spin to this book treat box, and I hope you give it a try. And you can see that they're a little bit different still, just the way the shading of the ink blending that we did, they're both a little bit different. So I hope you enjoy this fun little treat box. Make sure to shop all the products in the Holiday Mini in my online store. We also have a new line of scrapbooking products you can shop for as well. Grab these for all your holiday gift card giving this year. Any recipient would love to receive these from you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video if you liked what I shared with you, or if you learned a fun little tip today. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and like it, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That way you never miss a video. And I will be back again soon for another fun project with you. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.